What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? You already know what time it is. This is your boy, the historian. You either get right or you get left. Falcons have taken down the Tampa Bay Bucs 16-13. Y'all into the mix with the party line, baby. You already know how we get down. Let's go.
Okay, y'all, this is it.
Welcome to the party line. You already know what this is. You either get right or you get left. This is the historian Ryan Walker. We in because last week we had the benediction and we pretty much had a prayer lounge. But I need y'all to go ahead and see the players lounge of what we got. So I'm gonna remove myself from the stage just for K Dub Worthy before we start bringing everybody else in today for the show. K Dub, what it do, man?
What's up? What's up? Can y'all hear me?
Perfectly.
And I just wanted to give my thoughts and comments on the game while I'm at work. I ain't gonna be on too long. I just want to say, man, hey, look, great win. Everything that we talked about throughout the week, they seem to listen to the birdcage. He used his legs. We got to quit turning the ball over so much, but we did a great job of moving the football and continue to just keep working on our mistakes and our issues. And great win to be leading the division. But I want to give them some kudos. And also, you know what I'm saying, we called it a little bit better of a game. But we got things we still need to correct and work on. But we just want to put that out there. Go ahead, Gray Beard.
First and foremost, man, hey, how everybody doing? Like K Dub said, man, great win, great win. Game ball got to go to that freaking defense that we got, who held them in the game for the entire game. Man, you just got to give your hat off to them, man. They played stellar, even though, we had some big half in the secondary or whatever, but they played excellent, kept them in the ball game. Young way, cool, clutch, started to get back into his stuff again, with the game-winning field goal. Desmond Ritter, he played okay, but them turnovers, man, we got to clean that up, man. He got to clean up his ball security more better, especially in the goal line area or whatever. But man, just overall, great win, great win. We needed it. We're on top of the division. All we got to do now is build upon it.
Most definitely. I got to go ahead and bring Coach Terry McGriffin to the building. He's
Coach,
definitely our regular resident. I'm going to bring my guy, Christopher Foot in, and then I got to bring my guy William Ames in so we can go ahead and chop this up. So, Coach McGriff, go ahead and talk about what you saw today. What did you like? What did you dislike? And what do you think needs to be worked on?
I'm gonna answer those in all three in order. What's not to like about that defense? Oh my goodness.
Man.
Them boys play with heart. Hustle, 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 hustle is the name of their game.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to have talent when you got heart, and they got them both. So, good gracious. So what I didn't like was the inconsistencies of Ritter and his play. I like the fact that they let him loose a little bit more to run the ball, but his carelessness is just gets on my nerve. Here's the problem when you have a young quarterback and he knows that nobody's going to compete with him. That's where you have the bad of a kid knowing that he ain't going to get pulled because he know he can do stupid stuff and there's no consequences for it outside of the wins and losses. That's the thing that needs to be improved is either you need to get a quarterback coach or fire the quarterback coach you got and get a better one.
Both.
This guy is going to cost you the games. The earlier play that luckily was an incomplete pass when it was driving to Pitts, who had a really good game today. The tight ends why you don't get the ball to them more, I don't know. Just the placement of his balls just irks me. That's the reason why you need a better quarterback. With the receivers that you have, better ball placement, this game ain't even that close. I mean, you saw some of the throws that Baker Mayfield made that got them in there. If the Falcons get a quarterback that can learn how to get better ball placement, good look out. Like I told a historian, this team, the vision is for the taking for the Falcons, and you got people still trying to give up the draws just so y'all can keep that first place. It'll be how long you gonna maintain the lead and keep the lead. As long as you don't beat yourself, everything gonna be fine. The improvement is the coaching got to do better at teaching these guys the small points of the game and also situations in the game. This should not have been that close.
Agreed.
William, what you got for me?
Man, he hit it on the head. Offense, man. Offense is the problem, man. We had this game, fellas. The defense playing lights out. Moving forward, Desmond Ritter, I love you, man. I'm trying to keep my faith in with you, man. But Carson is the ball. You got to tuck the ball in. Fundamentals. You got to tuck the ball in and not turn the ball over to defense, man. 3 turnovers, that's unacceptable. And we got the whole Arthur Smith accountable too, fellas, because I feel like he should have did better sticking with the run game. Like I said, I'm proud of Richard Graham. I was getting on him. He stepped up. He did his thing, getting that critical interception. And moving forward, man, in special teams, man, we got to do better on, having teams start getting more field advantage. We got to correct on some certain things, but moving forward, offense, and Drew Darman snaps too. The snaps, that first and goal. Drew Darman got to do better, or his ass got to go. We got to go ahead and make it get a center or something.
Well, we've already been saying that Drew Dalman has been a problem for a while. And I said, hands down, if you're going to get a center, you got to go ahead and get you a veteran center that's going to be coming up on papers that can actually snap the ball. Because when you're on the 1 yard line like that and you bobble, Ritter's going to take the blame because he's the quarterback. But that ball, even Mark Schlereth Stink, who is a former offensive lineman, played for the Skins and played for the Broncos, who actually won 3 Super Bowls in his career, was very good at the offensive line. Even said that Drew Dalman bobbled that snap before it got to Ritter. Ritter tried to get it, but that Tampa's defense in the front, you got Vita Vea that was pushing the pocket, and you got White and those guys. They were able to get in there quick with their speed and recover that ball. So we've got to get somebody that can snap the ball, because that's been a problem since last year, period, with the center position. And I'm not going to sit here and rag on them because we got the win, but let's say it like this. We left 20 points on the field today, gentlemen. 20 points on the field. Really? Actually, I take that back. We left 27 points on the field, if you want to be technical, because Drake London had a pass broken up. You had Desmond Ritter with the fumble on the 1. Then you also had, when we went down the field in the last part of the game, Ritter gets that ball knocked away from him from Antoine Winfield Jr., Honestly, that ball should have been in his outside hand, and he should have been reaching for the pylon, opposed to trying to cruise into the end zone, or at least dive in it to make sure that we get that touchdown. So that's 3 touchdowns that we bobbled, and then you miss the field. Then you don't go for the field goal before halftime. So let's just be real. We left 20 plus points on the field today. What you got?
Oh, you said me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead, Foot.
What's happening, fella?
What's
One
going
thing,
on?
just listen to some of you guys. I'm like, I think we too critical, right? Especially in the win. You know, one thing that's for sure is that
Somebody got to
we're
mute their mic.
resilient,
Somebody
huh?
got to mute their mic.
No, sound
I
like
hear
somebody
William. I
driving.
guess it's, hey William, that's you, buddy. You got to mute your mic,
Oh,
bro.
what's up? All right,
Yeah. Yeah.
All
So
right.
go ahead,
I
Foot.
got y'all boys. My bad. I'm out
Uh,
muted right
Thank
now.
you.
yeah. So I look at how resilient this team was and how well they played. You know how the complementary football was, right? I'm not looking at everybody. It was a mistake here, mistake there. One issue. So I like the team win and the resiliency, right? And some of the complementary football. What I don't like is the turnovers, right? Every week we have too many turnovers. No matter whether it's Rither or whoever's doing it, we turning the ball. We too loose with the ball overall, and we got to get that fixed, right? No matter who turning it over. What's the third question, Ryan?
I'm
Think
What
that
still
was
we
your
here.
need
Go
third?
to
ahead.
I said,
think
what
that
was
we
your
need to
third
improve.
question?
Think that we
So
need to
the third
improve on.
question is this. I've
Uh,
already said, besides leaving points on the board, when are we going to be able to be in a situation to where we actually have consistency with the play calling week in and week out? Because that first half, we were able to move the ball, and we saw what they could do moving the rock, running the ball, throwing the ball. They said Bijan was sick today, so that's the reason he didn't get too many touches. Cordell Patterson still looks like a bit of a shell of himself right now. You know what I mean? He had a couple of flashes, but maybe he's just knocking the rust off. And then you also have to look at the fact that Ritter is getting comfortable with throwing into tight windows, which could be dangerous at times. He's got, as Coach McGill said earlier, you got to get better with your ball placement when it comes to putting that ball and leading those
some,
receivers. He dropped a beautiful pass at the end of the game, and Kyle Pitts put us in the winning position. Got to give Kyle Pitts his credit because it's like, wow, he ended up, catching the ball, made some great catches today. But Smith and Pitts literally showed out today. There was a coming out party for these tight ends today.
yeah, and another thing. With that said, I don't necessarily agree with leaving points on the field or what have you, because whatever happens, happens. Whether it's completed or not. That's part of the game. So I don't subscribe to like we left points. We always leave points. If we don't score every play, that means we left 7 points. That's how I look at it. If you don't score every point, we left 7 points. So I don't like to pick and choose just drops or whatever. That's just part of the game. But I just like we got to think this pretty much a new team for the most part. If we look at the piece, defense balled out, right? They doing their thing, right? I'm not mad
Mhm.
at those little penalties from all ball, whatever on the defensive back and then like that, because you got to get physical with this team. You can't let them get all loose and just have a field day, because they'll be up and down the field all day. So I'll take a couple of those penalties. But overall, it was a great win, great comeback, great throw, great catch by Pitts, and cool. I was nervous about him. But he knocked it through. We got the dub. We just, I see improvement week to week. So hopefully we can continue that and build upon it and keep it moving.
Agreed. And the crazy part about it is when you sit back and you look at it or whatnot, it's like, all right, we're in a spot where now we're on top of the division. Now we have to keep that spot because we're undefeated in division play right now. We've only played 2 division games. That's huge. We're not going to see anybody in the division till later on in the year. So now that we're going to be atop of the division, we just have to continue to keep winning ball games to stay at the top.
It's the
Because if we win this division, we go to the wild card. Point blank period. You know what I mean? Because I can tell you right now, if we keep screwing up in the red zone and putting ourselves in a position to do other things, we're not going to get a high seed in the playoffs because I still got us winning 10, 11 games. We still can do that. But we have to cut out on the penalties. We have to score when we're in position to put people away. Period. Because
I agree.
the defense is giving us chances to win the ball game. Let's just be real. The defense is literally giving us chances to win a ball game today. And they bent, but they didn't break. They only gave up one touchdown, and that was just because of one deep shot to Mike Evans. I'll take that if the defense can hold these guys, to 10 points like they did today. I'm sorry, to 13 points like they did today. One touchdown and 2 field goals. I'll take that all day because our offense can generate at least 21 to 28 points a game easily on anybody. But we have to have consistency. And again, Matthew Bergeron pretty much showed he's a rookie today. Had a little bit of a rough time, but the guy that I think was the worst, and I'm gonna say it right now, is Caleb McGarry. McGarry was getting whipped like a red-headed stepchild today. My thing is this: you had Storm Norton, who was shutting stuff down last week and the week before when he came in when McGarry was hurt. Don't take that dude away. Storm Norton is a bad man. My thing is, I get that you're keeping McGarry around, and that's because of the money that they're paying him. But at this point, are you trying to win ball games, or are you trying to keep people happy because they're getting paid? Because he's gonna get paid regardless. Do you want to win ball games and save your job and pretty much get this team to the postseason? Because if you don't win this week division this year, everybody's already cranking up the heater for you. Really, the boiler room.
I agree. I think McGregor need to go, man. I don't know what Arthur Smith doing because we ain't here to collect payroll checks. We here to win the games and handle business. When opportunities, you gotta take advantage of it, man. Like you said, bro. I'm tired of inconsistent on offense, though. Like y'all said, it's a point now. It's up to the players and the coaching staff to put these players in a good position to score. So I get Kyle Pitts involved more. Even though I've seen Bijan Robinson play, I think they say he was ill or something. He was sick.
Yeah.
I don't know, but they say he was sick. But still, we need to also keep moving forward. We cannot play like this again because we got a road game against Nashville, and they watch the tape on us. And I know they're probably trying to make us look one dimensional, but we got to be on our P's and Q's up there in Tennessee.
I
But
agree
here's the
with that.
thing about the Tennessee Titans, though. The Tennessee Titans are a physical team up front. You got a Mike Vrabel team that Arthur Smith came out of that system where he was the OC, and the way that they play football is physical in the trenches. And this is something that you got to think about. Do you want to take a risk with McGarry at that tackle? You're already struggling with the center position with Dahlman. Do you want to take this? Do you want to take this risk next week with McGarry, or do you want to go ahead and put Storm Norton in there and at least patch up some of the bleeding that we have? So next week is going to be a physical game. It's going to be a downright dirty game. Ritter's going to have to run the ball a little bit more this week coming up, just like he did today. He's got to get a little bit more comfortable. If you don't see something, take off like you did earlier today. Because if you notice, it kept that Tampa defense honest. Coach McGriff alluded to this earlier this week when he and I spoke on this. He actually said the same thing. You've got to get that guy. You've got to get that guy in that spot. And I got to bring in my guy, Damon from Weehawks TV. What's going on?
Big Damon, what it is, homie?
We on top of the division, baby.
Hey, we on top of the division. The defense is what literally won this game today because the offense, I got to quote Killian K-Dub. He said this earlier in the game when we were streaming on Turbo's Lifeline. Y'all check that out on Sundays. He streams it in Dirty Bird's Lair, Falcons Nest, and a couple of other Falcon sites or whatnot. So show him some love on the week. Killian said straight up, Arthur Smith would blow a wet dream. It's the honest to God truth. Because if you look at the play calling, we won this game, but it was stuff like it's stuff that we really have to improve on, especially with the red zone offense. When you're that close in the red zone, you cannot have turnovers or wasted possessions. You've got to get 7, period. Because the pass that Drake London, he floated, he could have put that a little higher. The cornerback doesn't make a play on that ball.
Yeah,
that was guaranteed 7. So what do you think about it?
Oh, yeah, that was a bad throw. This all I got to say is this. If we had a real center, that fumble doesn't happen at the goal line. That's 1. 2, I think Arthur Smith in the first half, especially in the first half, he needs to start playing for the win and not playing for his ego or playing for Twitter. Take the 3. When he called that last time out, I thought we was kicking the field goal. because we was getting the ball back. I was like, okay, we taking 3. When he sent it from the offense, I was like, oh, here we go. This what got me excited. I'm gonna tell you what got me excited. I know a lot of Falcon fans on Twitter, they mad right now, but I'm gonna tell you what's got me excited. My young quarterback, I think this game 11, off very rough, awful day. I'm not gonna sit here and act like he was some all-pro out there, awful day. But when it came down to it on the road, that placement of that pass was money. It was money when it mattered the most. And then let me tip my cap to the defense. Okay. The defense making plays. Let me tell you the first thing I thought when Richard Grant caught that interception. The first thing I thought, Ryan, was all the Falcons fans who were bashing Richie Grant this whole year is probably his biggest fans right now off that play. Right?
I'm glad he made the play, but he ain't got the doghouse yet, man.
Yeah. Nah.
Defense
He ain't not the doghouse yet, man.
Defense did what they
No, he
supposed
did.
to do.
He made a play. But here's the thing. We need this thing to be consistent, though, family. That's the whole thing. You preach. Here's the thing. You preach on it with the Atlanta Hawks all the time when you talk about we have to have consistency offensively, defensively, and we cannot have careless possession. You speak on this all the time with the Hawks. It's the same thing with the Falcons right now. We have to win.
But Ron, the only difference is this. Your key player on the Falcons is a very inexperienced player, since people don't want to say inexperienced. What's this, game 11? On the Hawks,
game 7. Game 7. Game 7.
On the Hawks, our main guy is a max player guy. So expectations for him is way different than me myself have for a 3rd round pick. You know, 3rd round quarterback, you ain't really got no expectations. But at the end of the day, man, plays were made when they needed to be made. I would love for us to have put 35 on the board. Probably should have had 35 on the board. But at the end of the day, when we look at the standings game, guess what? It say Falcons on top. It don't say, hey, Falcons barely on top of the division. We on top of the division. And to me, where were we at last year this time with the experienced quarterback?
Same. Think about it. When we lost to the Saints early in
3-3.
That hurt us. And now, you know, the Washington football team, as they would say, or the Commanders, as you would say, they struggle with a 1-5 team today. So that's frustrating in itself. Let's just be real. That's frustrating in itself because we have a talented football team. We have talent. The problem is we make bad decisions within certain instances. I'm going to take the win. We at the top of the division. I don't care. We at the top of the division. We have a chance to steal a game on the road. Now, Desmond knows what it's like to win on the road. Tampa wasn't that hostile. Let's just be real. Tampa was not hostile at all. He was comfortable. It truly was like another home game down there because there was a ton of Falcon fans that slid there. The place that we really going to see him get tested at, now he knows what it's like to win on the road. Let's hope that this momentum keeps going because we need this for next week. The game that we really are going to see him tested is when he goes into that toilet bowl of a stadium down in New Orleans with those bag heads. That is going to be a hostile environment. Period.
Hey, let me ask you.
Let me jump in here real.
Hey, let me ask you this real quick. Then I gotta go.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Y'all, I bet y'all probably got way more football knowledge than me. So my question is this to everybody on the panel: when you in the red zone, correct me if I'm wrong, especially inside, let's say inside the 10-yard line, shouldn't a team? Don't you have plays ready for those type of situations? When we get in the red zone, we got these set of plays we want to run when we inside the 10-yard line. Is that true or no?
No, it's true.
Okay, I was just wondering.
You have a package of plays. You have a package of plays that you start in the offseason with your scoring package of plays. It's usually between 5 and 9 plays. You know, you depend on how heavy you are. You're going to either go 5 run on 4 pass or 4 pass and 5. You know, however you want to do it, whatever. Based on what your personnel is, you know, and the injuries and all that stuff. So you have those, and those are the things you kind of work on more than any other in those situations. That's why you see a lot of timeouts being called because they don't get the look that they want because they was going to run that play on a certain look. And if they don't get that look, they try to find something else.
Yep.
Okay.
So,
all right, thanks, Rob, for letting me come on, man. I got to roll, bro.
All right,
Appreciate it, man. I'm definitely gonna be trying to get on the next show.
Hit that like button, gang.
Gotcha.
Yes, sir. Y'all check out WeHawks TV, man. If you're a Hawks fan, check out WeHawks TV. They definitely have great analysis, great insight, and they definitely let everything in. So,
hey, let me
Cam, what you got?
Okay.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Great win. That's all I'm gonna say. We got to win. It was ugly, but we got it. That's the only thing that matters to me at this point. I don't care about nothing else. We got the W. That's it.
Why did I know you? I already know your heart rate was high.
Yeah, mine was too.
Yeah, I had to take my heart. I had to take my medicine today. I was in there dying.
Nah, I was mainly. I tell you the truth. I was more pissed off than anything because I'm like, man, wasn't heart rate wasn't upset. I was more upset at the fact that we literally left 20 points on the field.
Fact.
It was more than 20.
We can't do that against New Orleans.
No, we can't do that
We
against
can't do more
Nashville.
than
We
20.
can't do that against Nashville. My concern is this offense.
That
Getting in the red zones, it's like we freeze. That's the second consecutive week we doing is like that's concerning because I ain't front. That shit made my blood pressure kept going up and down, man. But we did left a lot of points on the board, fellas. That's a concern in the is when we get in the red zone, we act like we can't score. We get like not everybody get losses. Like nobody know how to execute when we get inside the red zone. That's the problem.
and to piggyback on what he's saying, so everybody know this as because I'm rooting definitely for the Falcons next week. But what scares me to death is when a mentee goes to play the mentor in his place for the first time. Those coaches seem to lose their damn minds and do stuff that's totally out of character. That's what scares me.
Why did I know you was gonna say that?
He right though.
Just gonna do something, and everybody gonna be on this, and you'll be doing the benediction next week, saying what the hell was he thinking? That's
I don't think I'll be doing a benediction next week. I'm just gonna keep it real with you, and the reason I say I don't think so is because Tennessee can be beat. They're not as good as what everybody.
We know that they're not good. We know that they're not good. That's my point.
Terrible.
That's my point. But
They're terrible.
When you get case in point here as a Jaguar fan, we always look at how Peterson coaches against Andy Reid. He just does stuff that we said, what the hell were you thinking? Or what were you doing? Like you going for it on fourth on your end when you up 7-0 going into halftime. Why would you do that when your defense is getting 2-3 turnovers? These coaches tend to get in their feelings, especially, and do stuff that makes us as normal fans look like that's something a Pop Warner coach wouldn't even do. This is what scares me about the game. Whether the talent, obviously, it should be a 10-point win easily. But these are the games, just like when the Jaguars played Houston. Games you think, okay, you're supposed to win these games, and you go back to the end of the game, like, what was going on with it? This is the only thing that worries me. And with looking at the schedule, this schedule sets up for the Falcons to make a nice run. This division, with the guys that you're looking at, the Saints aging now, the Bucs aging now, even Carolina, even though they got some young players, their main players, they brought in Thielen, they got aging players. The Falcons got a lot of young guys. If you can get somebody who can teach them how to win ball games consistently, know how to get out to the lead, can maintain the lead, and put teams away, you can win this division for the next 4-5 years. But it just scares me that you got a head coach that's just going to consistently do stuff that make everybody pull their hair and get great.
Scratch the head too.
Now here's the thing: you still got Mike Vrabel, who's a defensive guru who came out. He's out of the Bill Belichick tree or whatnot as a coach and as a player, and was groomed under that Bill Parcells system. I can tell you right now, the type of stuff that we're going to be dealing with next week, run heavy. They'll throw the ball here and there, but it's going to be a smash mouth game. It's going to be a game that you're going to need all your physical players to be 100% because at the end of the day, it's going to be who imposes their will next week. It's not going to be a finesse game next week. I can tell you that now.
I mean, the play calling gotta be consistent next week, man. We cannot just be going in there trying to play cute and go against our identity. which is running the football effectively and
Mhm.
whatever the case may be. You looked at Ritter rolling out. He looked it great. He'll be able to read his progression or whatever the case may be. When he was running, especially on that goal line, when he did that gone read, when it ended up becoming a fumble and becoming a touchback, the freaking defensive back didn't even look back. He was too busy following his man across the 4 or 5 yard line across the sideline. That's how effective Ritter is when he's using his leg or whatever the case may be. We just need to build on that. And then on that goal line where Dahlman fumbled the ball, I actually thought he was gonna do a quarterback keeper and just run it in because we was like an inch line in. All he had to
That's
do
what
was
we
just
should have
dove
done.
in.
Dahmer got to go, man. That's unacceptable, though, man. Arthur
Thank
Smith got
you.
to hold more players accountable.
For one, as a coach, and I'm sure coach he'll agree with me. As a runner, the one thing that you're taught to do is to cover up the ball until you cross the pylon.
Two hands,
The
all
thing
time.
with Jazz, he eased up on the one. He eased up and he was looking up at the big screen, looking at himself.
Yep,
That that
Because
for me,
he
as,
has no
as a coach,
consequences for his play. Coach,
as a
he
coach,
doesn't
I
have
would have
any
lost my mind.
consequences when he play. He know he's playing next week. He know he's not getting pulled. So he does stuff like that as a young kid do, not thinking about the big picture. That's what they do because he knows he's not going to get pulled, and he's got an inexperienced head coach that won't get in his behind and have him thinking about that stuff before those plays happen. Sometimes you got to think for your players in situations that they don't have the experience to understand for themselves. If you're in this situation, look for this. Make sure that you do this. Make sure that you conscious of keeping the ball. Tom Coughlin used to say, "Do not have a careless disregard for this football, or you're gonna be sitting down."
yep,
Coach, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give you
yeah,
the one thing I got to disagree with you with is this. First off, you don't need as a coach, you don't need to be telling me how to get into the end zone. That's what I got to the NFL doing in the first place. I'm
I
an
totally
offense.
Yep,
disagree with you there.
No, because here's the thing: ball security. Wait a minute, let me get this out. Because if we gonna do this, I'm gonna put this out here. Ball security in that situation where he fumbled, you got to put the ball on the outside hand
outside.
to the
Yep,
side. Point,
Yeah, so
point blank
defender
period.
can't get it.
And that's fundamentals that you learn at a young age.
yep.
That's something that you shouldn't have to learn in the professional level at all. That is something that should have already been there. As much as he carried the ball in the Cincinnati, and as much as he's carried that ball in high school, being a running dual threat quarterback, you understand ball placement. That was on him. You can't think for him
absolutely.
to put the ball
Agreed.
in the
Yeah.
right spot. That's got to be him.
I don't disagree with you, but what's the old saying? Common sense ain't always common.
True.
What you
Well,
think people
we
say,
know that.
they
Look,
don't
True.
we
always
know that
be
That's
with our
true.
true.
head coach
That's
too.
true.
Those are the. I mean, think about it. These, you would thought back in the day, Michael Vick, you would study the playbook more. You're a great player. Imagine if you studied that playbook more. Imagine if you were more mature. We would have how many Super Bowls you might have got with the Falcons. That just because you think it should
Good
be that
point.
way, people don't do that. Hey, people say you should pay your bills instead of going out to dinner on it. People don't do it. But
That's another
sometimes you
good
have to
point.
remind these are 20-something-year-old kids that think that they look like grown men. They're children in grown men's bodies. Yes,
Yep,
we say all this stuff. They should know it, but they don't. I mean, you. Hey, you never throw the ball going away across the body in the middle of the field against the defense. They still do it. Everybody does it. Why? Don't ask, because they think they can get away with it. You
Fair.
think
That's fair.
the Drake
It's
London
a fair
play?
assessment,
The
but we
Drake
got to
London
bring
play.
our guy. We got to bring our guy Q into the building, man.
Q, what it is, homie. Oh no, he left. Oh, there he is.
No, Q's right
I'm here.
there.
What's up, Q?
What's going on, y'all? Good to see y'all.
Good to
Um,
see you, man.
man, I watched the whole game. Um, I'm gonna tell you this, man. We're fans. Some of us, our coaches, have played the game. But let me tell you something. This is not gonna be the season where you could look at a game and say, "Oh, we gonna win this one. We gonna win that one. We gonna do this. We gonna do that." Uh, this is the closest to a balanced team that we have been in years.
True.
Regardless of what you think, regardless of how you feel, this is the closest that we've been. We are literally a quarterback away. Now, Either Dez can become that guy and execute how he needs to, or you get another guy. And I'm gonna tell you this: if that boy keep playing like this, and most of that causes this 16-13 fiasco or the 16-24 fiasco from last week or however, whatever, go ahead and bench that boy. Put Taylor in and save your job as a coach. But on the other end of that, I don't even know if this dude gonna be able to save his job. He making some real stupid plays in the red zone between last week and this week. He's still getting cute. Then when you call him out, he get mad. And he get all girly like and stuff like that at the podium. It's gonna be real tough, man. I'm cool with the win today. But the execution on certain plays, I'm not cool with. A bunch of rookie mistakes for a guy that's on his second year, and we still technically call him a rookie. Yeah, I get that. But running into the end zone, and you got a loose grip on the ball, not even paying attention. Number one, you don't do that. Number two, get you a center that know what he's doing, that know how to call out certain things on the defense. Because let me tell you this. This is Ryan, you brought it up, I think last week or week before last, and I'm gonna bring it up again. That's your nucleus to your offensive line. It's seldom now that you see certain centers in the game that walk up to that line and they already point out because they see the play on the other side, they see the defensive scheme on the other side, and they point out, they like, yeah, here, and here. You don't see that no more. And we don't have that. That boy need to go. And I've been saying that since the first year we've had him. Dahlman needs to go. Get you somebody that's gonna be, you know what I mean, that's gonna be competent at that position. You look at Jeff Saturday and Peyton Manning. Who was you look at? Was it Ty McClure in his day? You look at guys like
Alex Mack.
Alex Mack.
Now one of the guys that we were supposed to have. Now, one of the guys we were supposed to have, and I'm still working on that right now. He has some technical difficulties, but we were supposed to have Hall of Fame center Dwight Stevenson, who used to play for the Miami Dolphins, come on the perch, which he will be coming on soon. We'll have that, but that is a man that understood how to read a defense and read where the threat was coming from before even Dan Marino had it. Because remember, he started off with David Woodley and those guys back in the day with the Killer Bees, and then he got a young Dan Marino. Even though Marino had a cannon for an arm and great ability, he was the reason why Marino was able to succeed and take the Dolphins to the Super Bowl, even though they lost to the 49ers, and he got an MVP that year. So all I'm saying is you got, like I said, you have to have somebody that knows what they're doing and can at least get the snap off. If they're not that smart, at least get the snap off and be able to pass, protect, and run block.
Yeah.
Dahlman got abused by Vita Vea today.
And they got Jeffrey Simmons next week. That's what scares me from the Titans.
Yeah.
Jeffrey
Simmons was a nasty, nasty guy. And you put the guy that just got whipped by Vita Vea in front of that dude that can't snap the ball. All right. Especially in the red zone.
Jeffrey Simmons is 3 times the player Vita Vea is. And that's the only thing. And then what gets me is the Titans are they're terrible on offense. Their offensive line. So we should keep the points down. So, I don't expect the Titans score more than 16, 17 points. The question is, with the stupid stuff happening, and the team only scored 13 again. You know what I mean? That's what scares me. You won a 16-13, then turn around and lose 16-13 to a team you should beat by 10 points. That's what scares me. Use the tight ends. I'm a Jaguar fan. We play them every year twice. They linebackers are susceptible to the tight ends, and you got way better tight ends than what we got.
Well, no, make sure you say this right, because you're gonna piss off half my fan base. You were a Falcons fan first, and you still pull for them, but because you live in Jags, you pull for the Jags now.
Yeah, well, I still pull for the Falcons.
Make sure I put that out there, because I don't need nobody coming from my head.
I still pull for the Falcons. They're just my NFC team now.
Yeah, because you live in Jacksonville, so you've been there for over 20 years, so I get it. But at the same time, I got to put that out there, Falcon fans. That's the only reason I have him on here, because if he was not pulling for them birds, he would not be on this panel. Trust me on that.
Yeah.
I agree with Mike, man. Jeff Okuda have been a blessing so far when he's healthy. He
We
has
got to
really
get.
been locked
Let's let him
down
get
because
through.
of
Wait
the
a minute.
private
Let's
field.
let him get through the season first before we
Hey,
talk about giving him any money.
yeah,
Let's let him get through the
I
season first.
understand that, but if we
I
looking at the
don't.
play on the field, look at the play on the field, he
Okay.
really has coming in and gone.
So
I'm
haven't
not.
you learned from Devontae Freeman? You had one good year out of Freeman. He got that money and robbed us. Let's talk about it. Vic Beasley robbed us. So all I'm saying is, don't put the cart before the
Vic
horse.
Beasley ain't get
Let's,
no
let,
contract.
Let me
no,
let me let me
no,
let
he
me let
did
me.
get a contract, but they were
He
willing
did get
to
a contract.
Oh, he
start putting
did.
him in that spot.
Listen, one thing that I did say before the season started, actually before he started playing, I said don't be surprised, even though he was injury ridden, injury prone. You know, his first.
Mm-hmm.
I said don't be surprised if this boy get in this system and he starts showing his tail, and he
Yeah.
has. He's
Yeah.
just one of the few guys. Don't get me wrong, he was good coming out, but he's just one of the few guys where, long he in the system, he gonna produce. He gonna show you something, and you looking at what we got. This
Yep.
Hybrid 3-4, I believe. You're looking at what we got as a defense, and I seen a clip the other day, and this is why I love communication when it comes to the safety and when it comes to the cornerback, because
Mm-hmm.
Bates and AJ on one side, when they're communicating, is ridiculous, and that locks down half of the field automatically. Make you not even want to
Mm-hmm.
get your first read if it is your first read. So when you got Akuda doing that, and I understand you, bro, because I'm like, yo, he got to make it through the season. And I believe that he is,
I
but
wanted to.
I definitely don't want him to pull. I don't think his mindset. I don't think he gonna pull that crap and be like, oh, let me get this. And then with the front office that we got, they not gonna give him that. And if he
Mm-mm.
walks, he walks. That's fine. You still have Phillips the third. You still got D. Alford wrecking shop. You forgot about Mike Hughes, who he's been, but you still got
Mike,
you still
no,
got.
I'm gonna say it for you. Mike Hughes is as shaky as a stripper at a pimp convention. Because
He
damn
is
it, as a
shaky.
punt
He is
returner,
shaky.
This is my thing. Why don't they have D Alford to Scotty Miller as a punt returner? He
D.
literally
D.
cost us
Alford was
bad
better.
field position today. That's
He
twice he's
did.
done that.
He did. Honestly, I'm telling you now. This is my thing with Arthur Smith. He got all this talent. He does not know what to do with it, and it boy,
So
it grinds my gears, bro. It
Mm.
keep D Alford away from special teams. Put Scotty Miller out there. You ain't use him. You only use them once. You know what I'm saying? Move these folks around, like, and do what you got to do. And then Ragon, like, just let bro walk, bro. Get a competent OC and let the play calling go.
Byron
Just
Leftwich is out there.
they
exactly.
not touching
Hey,
Byron.
Byron Leftwich is out there. He won a Super Bowl. Everybody said, "Oh, that was Brady." I said, "Okay." Well, he literally, even after that Super Bowl, Tampa made the playoffs with that dude as the OC.
Byron
Mm-hmm.
Leftwich is the only reason Byron Leftwich is not in Tampa because him and I forgot who's the head coach now. They butt heads. They
Todd
were butting,
Bowles.
Todd
they
Bowles.
were butting heads when they were both coordinators. That's
Yeah.
why he was looking for a reason to get rid of that man. That man was almost the head coach for the Jaguars, and he will actually probably increase point production to lead by 15 points a game. He's very innovative. Everybody knows how smart he was just since he's been playing college ball. The problem
Yeah.
is his philosophy does not fit in with what the head coach wants, and he don't want to give up play calling. That's the problem. That's the
Doug
problem.
Peterson.
No, and I'm talking about the problem
No,
is
you're talking
your
about
coach
Todd Bowles.
wouldn't
Todd
bring
Yeah,
in.
Bowles.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, Todd. I'm sorry.
no,
yeah.
but what I'm saying, the head coach for the Falcons would not bring in a guy like him. He'd be too much of a threat.
He'd be
But
a
Man,
good one.
here's the thing: if he get fired, let's just be real. The person that's gonna probably get the job is probably gonna be Jerry Gray. Everybody, y'all can mark my words on this. If Arthur Smith get fired, they're gonna hire Jerry Gray within because Gray has time. Gray's been around for a minute.
but
And
hey,
he,
why you playing?
hey,
Why you playing? That'll be nice. But
or
don't
Eric
be
Bieniemy. That's the
surprised.
other person
No,
that you
no,
offer a job to.
Nah,
I want
y'all
y'all.
y'all
I want y'all to
y'all
think. Put another name in the hat. If I
y'all
forgot.
y'all y'all skipping over Neil. I'm telling you, y'all skipping over Neil. Neil will probably get it over Gray. I promise you, he will. they're gonna be
Here's
looking at
here's
trying to
a
get that boy up out of there. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry.
now you good. The other name I want y'all to put in, dog, I just left my the defensive coordinator with the Detroit Lions is on everybody's list right now.
Oh,
Who's
Aaron
shit.
short?
Glenn.
No, the cornerback used to play
No, the
Oh,
cornerback
cornerback.
for
Terry
you.
Glenn.
Aaron
Yeah,
Glenn.
yeah. Terry Glenn.
Yeah, he's
Yep.
he's a lot of people are talking about him as his leadership skills. That's a guy, and he believes in offense. My like I said, the only problem I have with Arthur Smith is that he just doesn't. He's too rigid, and I don't think he's very innovative, and I don't think he knows any other way how to run an offense. He came up with his system, and that's all he knows. You never see you guys running different stuff or game planning based on who you're facing to take advantage of it. You run what you run. And speaking of running what you want, it seemed like the running game was working just fine without Bijan. And then all of a sudden he started feeling better in the last part of the game too and wanted to come in.
Yeah.
I've been
You
saying
ever know?
I've
Did
been
you ever?
saying
I was getting ready to ask. Did anybody see that today?
I've been saying that. I've been saying it. I'm just
Because
saying.
Absolutely.
here's the thing:
Absolutely.
we all said this here because Arthur Smith don't want to be wrong about his pick, and we've said this. I said you got a guy who broke William Andrews' record, and Dewey McClain, Mr. Dewey McClain, who was on the perch this week, former Falcons running back, who played against William Andrews in practice every day while he was here for about 5 years, said Tyler Algier was William Andrews with more speed. That was exactly what he said about Tyler Algier. Now you got a guy that played against William Andrews back in the day that was on the show that said that. So what does that tell you if you're talking about a guy in William Andrews that literally would have been a Hall of Famer if he doesn't blow out his knee?
I agree.
True,
I
very
mean,
true.
I agree, man. I just think we need to stick with our identity, which is we are a heavy run football team. And I agree with Coach up there, man. Arthur Smith is just stubborn. Either it's his way or no way, or whatever the case may be. I mean, Ryan, you don't get it personally, man. We can run the same offense, but give it multiple looks, man. I mean, we can't just keep running with the same formation. They're gonna key in on that, and then we ain't gonna have nothing.
Yep.
Get
And my
that
thing
ball,
with
get that
and
ball out
Q,
of that kid's hands, get that ball to them tight ends, and you'll win that game next week by at least 14 points. I say
now
10
I want to
points
bring
minimum.
this up for Q. I want to bring this up for Q, and then I'm gonna bring it to Foot. So Q,
Mm.
I've heard you mention this when you were pretty much cooking with Q the other time we talked, and we talked about how the defense was not gonna it was gonna be a bend but don't break defense. We all figured that out when the
Yeah,
preseason happened that they were gonna make plays and get turnovers. How many
yeah.
times do you believe that we're going to continue to get turnovers and our offense is going to continue to squander, or they're going to figure this out and finally start putting points on it? This is the $1 million
Uh,
question. I want to
I,
ask you this.
now I'm gonna say this, and I gotta, because I'm moving too. I'm gonna be at this house soon, but I gotta say this, and I'm gonna go. Um, honestly, I can't give you a precise number to that question, but I'm gonna say just as many times as Arthur Smith jacks it up and game plans the way that he does. It depends on what he does. It depends on what he does. Because ain't no way we were supposed to lose to them cats last week, bruh. And look at how they got, even though that's a division game, true enough, and it can go either way, but they got drugged by the Giants.
Yes, they did. Tyrod Taylor looked like an all-star.
And
It,
that's a guy and that was a guy that I mentioned in the offseason when he didn't have a job. I said, you're
bring
looking
him
for a
in.
backup. That should have been the guy that should have been your backup right there.
But you got you got
He
a
was
you got a
threatened for
guy
that
like
man's
that.
job. They're not gonna bring nobody in to threaten these two
They
guys'
not.
jobs.
They not. I'm loving what he's saying. You got a guy that it seems like he's purposely bringing people in that ain't gonna mess up the jobs. Number one. Number two, you got all this talent, bro. You got people that need stuff. And if you really building a team, I'm gonna say this: take a page out of the Patriots book, please, and have that fine oil machine that they had for years, 10+ years. Even you know what I'm saying. Even though Tom Brady gone, take that fine oil machine that front office had and cycle these players. Let me tell you something. I love the logo. If Kyle went to the Cowboys, it would have been straight with me because I know they would have gave up the draws for him or if he would have went somewhere else. People just don't like the idea of drafting these guys because they fall in love with them, and then they don't like to see them go nowhere else and prosper. I don't care nothing about that. My thing is this: Bruh could have left 2 weeks ago. I would have been all right. Cordell could have left 2 weeks ago. I would have been all right. if you wanted to move somebody on the defense, hell, if you wanted to send Grady out, I would have been all right. Because look at all what them other boys doing. Look at what them other defensive tackles doing.
It's
And don't
all
get me
about
wrong, I
the
love Grady,
logo.
but it's all about the logo. So yeah, I can't give you no answer on that because it all depends on how he feeling that day and what he gonna do. We got a diva as a coach and he ain't done nothing. So
Good point, man. Good point.
until he proves that he can, you give us this 9-8 or this 10-7, and it's looking like it's going to be a 10-7 or 9-8 right now because we keep back to back and winning and losing and winning and losing and stuff like this. Can't even keep no streak going. Until you prove that, then you feel a little better about yourself. Other than that, humble yourself, bro, and game plan this stuff and do what you got to do. But I gotta go. It's been fun.
Yes,
I'm gonna
sir.
get back at y'all, and I'm gonna keep on watching. I'm gonna keep on listening. Peace, y'all.
Most
PQ.
definitely appreciate it, Q.
I'm gonna say
Hey,
this.
y'all check out Cooking with Q. Hold up, y'all check out Cooking with Q. My guys out here doing this thing, big things on Dirty Bird's Lair and Falcons Nest. We definitely appreciate his analysis that he brings during the week. Definitely has a realistic point of view and a perspective that most don't know. Coach, I'm gonna get to you, but I gotta let Foot get on this one. So, Foot, same question that I asked. What you got?
So say it again specifically. I'll make sure I
So
answer
my
right.
thing is, how many times is our defense gonna continue to give us chances in ball games with turnovers, and we're gonna see guys, and we're just gonna see the Falcons offense
I got
just
it.
give up the
So
draws and just piss away opportunities.
uh, like I said earlier, I'm seeing steady improvement across the whole team. Throughout from the first game to now. So as I look at it, I think that the offense will get better. They look a little bit more comfortable to me now. For the last two games, they look a little bit more comfortable. So I think we're gonna keep. I think they're gonna keep moving forward. Now, I think the defense is gonna be the key side uh the key of the team with what they're doing, right? Kind of, hey, pick me up when needed, make some plays when needed. When we don't get those scoring drives, something like that, I think the defense will be the better side of this team. But I see improvement. Some of it might be a little slight, but I see improvement. I feel real good about the team.
Yeah, Coach.
Okay. I do see improvement. To piggyback what you were saying, I do see improvement, but that's also what scares me because there is a chance to really take a stranglehold, not just this season, but the next few seasons with this team in this division. Then the next goal is okay. We won a division. We get in the playoffs. What do we do next? We want to compete to get to the Super Bowl. We want
This
to
is the
be in the
background
Super Bowl.
noise or
Get
something. I
back.
can't hardly.
And you get into that frustration. Yeah, we got to this level now where we're a playoff team. We're consistently making the playoff team, but that's all we get to be. Then because we haven't fixed the quarterback problem or we haven't fixed the other things that keep us stagnant. There's an old saying, mediocre does nothing but keep you mediocre. You either need to be really, really good or really, really bad so that you can get good. And that's what if we can get the quarterback play more efficient, because now I can say, before I said it was terrible, at least now he's competent. He's competent. Yeah. Okay. But we need him to be efficient. Then you go to see if you can get him to the superstar status. But give me efficient, like the historian saying, Tyrod Taylor is an efficient quarterback, somebody that you know ain't gonna lose you the game. He may not win it, but he ain't gonna lose the game. With that defense, that's what you need right now. Get better. Just somebody who ain't gonna lose the game. And it was real, real close from this kid losing the game once again. You know what I'm saying? The low pass to Kyle in the fourth quarter, that low pass to Kyle Pitts, he puts it up. Kyle Pitts is on the run. He's probably walking in the end zone. There was only one defensive back on that side when he's making that drag route. He just threw it low, and Pitts almost came up with the catch.
And then Pitts comes up with the big one on the other side.
Get him in that field goal range. But the other one, he hits that right. You don't have to worry about the kicker coming in and kicking the field goal.
Exactly.
These are the things that makes you, as a guy who really knows football, frustrated because you know that's a coaching issue. That's a coaching point that he's not being harped on. Because when you got a young guy because if he was all that, he would have been a first-round pick. He was not a first-round pick. So there's certain things in this game that he lacks that you got to help him with. You get what I'm saying? Some guys don't have the arm strength like a Minshew, but he got the brain out of this world. If he, you know what I mean? I wish I could put Minshew's brain in some of these other guys on bodies. Then you have probably the perfect quarterback. Ritter has a lot of the talent. He just doesn't have the brain. Sometimes in his decision making, it's always seems to be a half step slow. And if he that's where you need a competent quarterback coach to say, on this play, look for this, do that. That's why I'm more comfortable with him getting him out there and letting him run. But even with that, you still got to tell him, hey, make a good decision with your ball handling when you get to the end zone.
But this is what happens when you have Arthur Smith not wanting to bring somebody competent in to teach Ritter this, because Arthur Smith knows his job would be on the line if Ritter was performing and they ended up screwing up. Just like you said earlier. Byron Leftwich would be the perfect candidate for this kid, because even though Leftwich was not a mobile quarterback, Leftwich had a howitzer for an arm, if you remember.
Yeah, he did.
The only difference was he wasn't mobile.
At Marshall.
So all I'm saying is at this point, we have to literally deal with, we literally got to deal with the fact that, hey, we got to win this week. We're not going to complain about it, because guess what? We're at the top of the division.
Yes, sir.
Now it's ours to lose. That's the whole thing. It's ours to lose. And we've got to make sure that the offense helps out the defense. If you see Tyler Algier is eating, stop. I get that you want to mix things up. Let that boy eat, because here's the thing. He's the type of runner, he gets in a groove. When he is in a groove, you cannot stop that. He's like Old Man River. He gets stronger as the game goes on.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly.
But
that's just when I won't talk too much, Mongo. But piggyback on that, you look at a lot of these other teams when one guy goes for 250 or 240. If the guy's killing the guy, stick with it. They make the adjustment to what you probably want to do. But
there we go.
This is a guy that, you got you got a great tight end tandem right there. You look at how many teams that won championships with two tight ends doing like that, because it evens the defense. There's no strength side. You get what I'm saying?
We really got three tight ends if you count McCole Pruitt in that mix.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Everybody forgets about him.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But when you got, but especially this week when you got like Jeffrey Simmons, that a guy that's going to he's going to probably go and line up on the weak side and right up over that center. You got to even out the formation so that there's no strength, so you can go either way with the running back. You can run either side. You can have him roll out either way. And with they linebackers, I'm telling you, they suspect against the tight end pass. Just let them eat. Then you'll get a wide open shot for Drake London here or there.
But here's my thing I got for you. I'm gonna put this out. I got to put this out here for you. Now, I just mentioned McCole Pruitt. McCole Pruitt got activated this week. So in this situation, now Jonnu Smith and McCole Pruitt are better blockers than Kyle Pitts. So if I'm going to do this week, this is how I'm going to set this up. Pruitt and Smith are going to be my tight ends. I'm going to use Pitts in the slot this week. That's what I'm going to use him for. I'm going to use Pitts in the slot. You got Drake London on the outside, and I can bring in Van Jefferson and mix in a little Scotty Miller, and we can torch that defense, because here's the thing. They secondary is cheeks. Straight secondary.
Linebackers even worse.
And here's the thing. If Simmons is going to crash down and he's going to come 100 miles an hour, guess what I'm going to do? All right, Pitts, this is what I want you to do. I need you to break off your route, and I'm going to have it right there for you. Or I'm going to have a Bijan Robinson. Hey, B, get into the flat, run a wheel route. I'm going to put it right on you. I'm going to run just like I did with Algier this week. I'm going to float it over the top. You just get yards. This is how you eat. Right now, guess what? Ritter, all he has to do is be a point guard this week. You don't have to sit there and be John Elway. You don't have to sit there and be Michael Vick. Guess what? Your legs will keep them honest. And if they decide to give you a lane, just pick up a couple of yards and slide. That's just what I have for this week. But I'm not going to get too heavy into it, because we got pretty much coming up. We're going to talk about this on Thursday or whatnot. So
great win either way. Good win. Any win is a good win.
I'm good with the win. I'd rather look now. Most of us Falcon fans, that's dog fans, got to worry about the dogs being consistent this week. So
Come on,
we
man.
got
I'm a
to,
Gator fan, and I ain't even expecting the game to be. We're gonna lose by at least 21. Come on.
we
Hey,
just want Kyle. We just
Come on.
want Kyle
about
Pitts.
this game.
Hold on.
Don't even get my
Wait a minute.
hopes
Wait a
up.
minute. Wait a minute. We just
Don't even
want
get my
Kyle Pitts
hopes
to
up.
be pissed off because if he's pissed, he might give us a good game next week.
Don't even get my hopes up. No, I ain't
Hey,
even.
no, but let's just be real. Well, your boys came back against South Carolina this week that just went by. I mean, before the bye week. And, South Carolina just literally just folded like a cheap paper fan. But y'all did what y'all supposed to do. The thing is, like we said this week, I said the most dangerous receiver. And if Arthur Smith on a good tall receiver, and I've been saying this, Ricky Pearsall came out of Penn State, so I got to see him up here in PA. But he goes to Florida and he's starting to find his niche. My thing is, Ricky Pearsall is one of the most dangerous receivers in the country, and that is a guy that you bring in next year if you're gonna bring in another toy
You can
to
get him in the
have the
second
really
round.
throw.
You can get him in the second round. He ain't gonna be a first round pick.
No, I mean not as a first rounder. You got to go. You either get you an offensive, you either get you a center, or you get you a defensive lineman because you got to start building these trenches up because
We
you're
going
getting
D
ready,
line.
you're getting ready to have a lot of these older guys leave.
Give me a D lineman.
Yeah,
Go D
but
line. You get a
hey,
center
I
in
mean
free
now
agency.
here's the thing. I'd rather take a center. If we got the best center available, I'm taking him at the first round. I'm sorry. Because we need somebody to snap the ball. I'm sorry. If we don't go veteran, the way that you build, and I'm gonna say this here because Dewey McClain said this, and we're gonna wrap this thing up. Dewey McClain said this last week on the show. The way that you build your franchise, the reason Steve Bartkowski struggled, he only had Jeff Van Note, who was there before he got there. Now, Warren Bryant, R.C. Thielman, you had Scott, and if you look at it, they drafted offensive linemen in the first round when they were building that team. And if you look at that line, when we had Scott, Thielman, you had Van Note, and you had Mike Ken as well. Let's just be real, dog. Bartkowski had some of his best years when he had an offensive line in front of him. When stuff started to fall apart is when R.C. Thielman was traded to Washington because you took away a piece of that offensive line. If you got a chance to draft the best lineman, this is a year you build your line. You got skill players. Build your line offensively and defensively, but mainly offensively.
Good
So
point. That's fair.
that's
What I always say, Ryan, it starts and ends where? In them
in the
trenches.
trenches.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
keep telling folks that.
But here's the thing. But that's what happens when you have a lot of casual fans who don't understand how games are won and lost. Games are won and lost in the trenches, and whether it's offensively and defensively. If you can't control the line of scrimmage, you're not gonna win the game. Period.
Nope.
So we definitely appreciate you guys for coming on today for the party line. As you can see, got the red light district in the back. We want to see this background a heck of a lot more than we saw Freddie Falcon crying and praying on that doggone crucifix, pretty much crucifix in the back and crying on that altar box, man. We don't need him crying like that no more. But
No.
nah, as you can see, he's sitting he's sitting at the bar with some lemon pepper wings, a little bit of champagne. He up in the club. But we definitely look forward to having you guys. I want to thank y'all for coming on again. We definitely look forward to having you guys come on Thursday. Check us out. But before we have that Thursday, we have a special guest. We have none other than Dr. Joe Taylor, legendary HBCU Hall of Famer and national championship winning coach. We'll have him on Wednesday for On the Perch, the interview segment. So y'all check us out then. We definitely appreciate you. We at the top of the division, dog. We top dogs, baby. Number one in the division. Let's keep this momentum going. Let's get this win out of Tennessee next week. I love you guys, and we definitely will see you next week. Y'all be blessed. Peace.